The tuner is ideal for modifications to individual glyphs, so it is typically used in the glyph window. I think the E here needs to be a bit wider. This button here changes it by 1%. This one is for the fine-tuning, and you can instantly see it change in the preview window. Let's make that a bit lighter. Isn't that E leaning towards the left a bit? Note that while I do this, the vertical tangents stay upright, so we don't get any wrong extrema. The tuner does this job for us. In turn, you need to give the macro correct standard stems. The first of the V stems is what counts here. If that is not defined properly for the regular and the bold, the macro cannot do its job. The tuner also works in the preview window if you're in matrix mode. Then you can select a glyph and change its width, for example. Let's give these uppercase letters a bit more classic proportions. The E a bit narrower. You can see that the side bearings do not change. They are simply kept just like they were. That makes it much easier to see which width we want, and it does not require any further reworking. Now I want to change the vertical proportions. Say, I want to make the descenders longer. That's very easy with the P. But in the G, I cannot simply shift some nodes. The G is too complex. Now the tuner allows us to stretch the G evenly, and without messing up the weight. What is not ideal here is that the G gets stretched upwards, because it stays sitting on the baseline. What we can do is to use this red line, FontLab's measurement line, to indicate around which position the letter should be scaled. In the tuner, unchecking on the baseline implicitly means on the measurement line. Now the G is stretched downwards, and we can instantly see the result and choose the scaling visually as needed. The tuner also helps scaling parts of a letter. The bowl of the P is too small, I would say. Let's make that a bit bigger. First, the measurement line goes up to the cap height. Currently, the tuner can only stretch the whole glyph. But you can already imagine fixing that is very quickly done. Oops, maybe that is a bit too big now. Shouldn't have changed it that much. In the mask, we still have the old one. So if I go back, using mask to master, that was too small. That's too big. Too small. Something in between would be good. The tuner seems to guess what we need now. These buttons allow to blend in the mask. They are only available when it makes sense, when there is a mask that is compatible with the outline but not identical. So we can add the mask. A bit like an undo, but it's continuously adjustable. And you can instantly preview the effect. The mask function, along with slanting, is available for all fonts, not only multiple master. We can even subtract the mask. For example, if you realize that the change you made was not enough. If you have monospaced glyphs, for example tabular figures, you should switch on fixed width, which means that as you change the width of the outline, the advance width doesn't change. Tabular figures are often difficult to get right. You can use the tuner to quickly play around to find the best compromise of width, side bearings, counter size and weight.